Breaking news. Eli Whitney died yesterday on January 8th at the age of 59 in New Haven, Connecticut. He was the inventor of the cotton gin and of interchangeable parts, and he was a leader of the Industrial Revolution. Eli Whitney was born on December 8th in a small town in the center of Massachusetts called Westboro. Even at an early age, he was an inventor. When he was 13 years old, he told his stepmother about her prize table knives. "I could make such ones if I had tools, and I could make tools if I had tools to make them with." He went to Yale University in 1789 and graduated in 1792. He became a teacher, and he was promised a job twice, the second one in Georgia. Both of the offers were empty, and in Georgia, short of cash and far from his home in New England, he befriended Catherine Greene, a plantation owner. Eli Whitney became an inventor and mechanical engineer after plantation workers showed him how hard it was to clean cotton. There were two varieties of cotton grown in America in the 1790s. The first type was easily cleaned of its black seed. They had long staples. The problem with that type was that it only grew on the coast. It could not be grown inland. The country needed more cotton than what could be grown on the coast. The other type was a different kind that grew farther inland with a green seed and short staples. However, this type resisted cleaning, and that stopped southern plantation owners from making it. Eli Whitney invented a solution to make the South prosperous. He wrote to his father about his ideas in 1793. "I concluded to relinquish my school and turn my attention to perfecting the machine. I made one before I came away which required the labor of one man to turn it, and with which one man will clean 10 times as much cotton as he can in any other way before known, and also cleanse it much better than in the usual mode." Phineas Miller, his business partner, helped Eli Whitney to commercialize his invention and paved the way for a patent. Also in 1793, Phineas wrote a letter to Thomas Jefferson. Eli Whitney has resided in a family during the last winter, and amidst all the inconveniences which his situation in the country, without tools and without workmen, could throw in his way, has invented a machine for ginning cotton, which promises to be highly useful to the southern states. And I shall not only speak the opinion of Mrs. Greene, but of others who have known Mr. Whitney, in saying that his amiable character has particular claim to private friendship and patronage, at the same time as his strong inventive genius deserves the encouragement of the public. The machine was called the cotton gin. It would clean the seed that before then had been hard to clean. The cotton gin had 4 main parts. The first part was a hopper, which fed the uncleaned cotton into the gin or engine. The second part was a moving cylinder which brought the fiber forward. The breastwork let the fiber through, but not the seed. A final cylinder pulled the fiber forward, but the breastwork didn't let the seed through the gin. Eli Whitney didn't only invent the cotton gin, he also invented the concept of interchangeable parts. With war on the horizon in 1797, he and 26 other contractors bid for a total of 30,200 muskets, and he volunteered to make 10,000 muskets in 2 years. The National Armory had only made 1,000 muskets in 3 years, so this was a very ambitious bid. The National Armory used a traditional method in which a skilled worker made the whole gun by hand. However, Eli Whitney knew that would take too long, so he invented a way to make all of the parts of the same type the same. He had essentially made a way to make all of the parts the same in an assembly line. However, it took Eli Whitney 10 years to make the 10,000 muskets, 5 times the time allotted to him. It ended up that nobody believed him that the parts were all actually interchangeable. He convinced them by having many piles in front of Thomas Jefferson, who was the president at that time, and took one part from each pile and assembled a working musket. One of his other inventions was a metal milling machine. It is less well known, and he used it while he had workers making muskets for the armory. It was used to cut metal to make each piece. The impact of his cotton gin was to make the South prosperous. However, more cotton was grown, which made the slave trade grow. The machine made it easier to harvest cotton. He didn't make his fortune on it, but he inspired many farmers to make changes to his machine to make it better. Eli Whitney was an important inventor in America. He will be missed by his wife, Henrietta Edwards, and 4 children. His death is a loss to our society, as he invented the cotton gin, interchangeable parts, and the metal milling machine. And perhaps he would have invented more if he still lived. He will be missed by all.